Okay, so we'll just find a comfy seat and close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in. Exhale. Just let your awareness drift back inside your body, letting go of what you've already done today or what you need to do later. Just feeling your body, feeling your breath. And as you breathe, just kind of releasing any tension in the mind. Grab arms, shoulders, relax the jaw. Just breathe in a way that gives permission to the body and to the mind to just be in this one place. And that when we are present, we're able to absorb things better, whether that's the love around us or the joy experienced with a friend or the information we're trying to retain or a couple more deep breaths. Just orient yourself towards your heart. You can place your hand on your heart for a moment and just connect yourself back. In your next deep breath, just remember that there is an essential part of who you are, and our life journey is really a journey of lessons and refinement practices that eventually lead us back to the love that sits inside us. As we begin to heal our bodies and harmonize our bodies back up with nature, we are shown a deeper level of who we are. We start to harmonize our body, mind, and spirit, and start to move through our life from a more healthy, whole place. So just let that be our intention today, to explore another way to create balance and health within our physical and mental forms. So that we can have vitality and really contribute to the world the way that we'd like to. A deep breath. And exhale. And gently bring ourselves back into our body. Doesn't really matter if your video is on or off, as long as you can hear. I'm going to pull up a slideshow and do my best to go through a little document here. There's a chat box also. If anyone wants to just type in how they're feeling today or unmute themselves and just share why they're here, I'd be happy to hear you. Or you can type it there if talking's not really your style. Oh, good. Rejuvenated, refreshed. Anybody feeling tight? Perfect. Good. I'm hoping that's exactly what you'll get away from this, how to use your oils. Okay, let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Everybody see this? Cool. Yeah, give me a thumbs up so you can see it. Good? Okay, awesome. So some of you already have essential oils in your house, which is great. Some of you might be riding on the edge of getting them. I guess I've been given essential oils, especially doTerra ones, kind of for the past few years, in and out, like in a yoga class or in my water bottle at one of these hot yoga studios, and I fell in love with it. I was like, what in the heck? I didn't know that you could put, like, I think she put like wild orange in my water bottle when I practiced, and just had a really great experience. And then like lavender oil over my nose in a yoga class, but I really and someone gave me a roller one time, like a scent roller that I loved, because I really didn't like to use toxic perfumes. But I really didn't understand that they're, depending on the quality, there's a way to integrate them into our life to better our health, and really heal a lot of the issues that some of us have going on. And so back in February, one of my great friends and teachers, Diana, reached out to me and told me that they had kind of been coming into her life in a similar way. People were giving to her, and she started using it with her baby. And because it was such a trusted source, someone that reached out to me, I felt inclined to learn more kind of immediately, because I knew that they were something I wanted to know more about, but just the right person kind of poked me, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll learn more. And so her and I have been working with a mentor, Avesa, who's amazing and really knowledgeable within the doTerra world and plant medicine. And back in February, I started just including them into my lifestyle. What I didn't realize is that there's so many ways that you can use them. And I started to use them to heal migraines that I was getting every month based on hormones, and also to heal my cycle as a woman. I was having very light periods, and I felt like that was a sign of just not being healthy, and migraines in general, and also just to support some thyroid autoimmunity that I had had years ago. And so realizing that there was ways that I could integrate them into my life more than just scent, I was like, okay, let's go in. And so I started using them, and obviously that was back in February, and really over the summer I started to notice my health and vitality just going up like crazy amounts. I've had the last 3 cycles, I haven't had a migraine, which is, I can't even tell you how exciting that was for me on the first one. Like, I got my period, and usually it happens 2 days before, where I'm just out, like can't have any light, can't get up. I have to take Advil or something to even function, and I haven't had one. And then my last cycle was 5 days instead of 2 for the first time in probably 2 or 3 years. And that was like, and I haven't had one of my periods and start any day, and I haven't had a migraine. And so now, a couple months after using them consistently, I feel like I really have like a testament as to why I love them, beyond just enjoying the brand and enjoying the smells. And it's fun to learn a new healing modality, but I really am called to share them more because they've had such a profound effect on my life. So nature's bounty, this is what we're going to go through today. Mother Nature has an amazing way of supporting us, but we're just not trained to reach to Mother Nature first. I mean, as soon as we're little, we grow up and we start asking other people for answers. We go to the doctor to tell us what's wrong with our body. We go to our teachers to tell us how to think, and we go to external sources versus trusting ourselves, and then also trusting where we came from, which is Mother Earth. And really, these little oils are like the most potent form of Mother Nature's offering to us, just harnessed in a beautiful way. And then there's many ways that we can use them. So some things that we're going to cover are Eastern versus Western medicine, which is just something that we're pretty disconnected from Eastern medicine altogether because we live in the West, and we're living in a pharmaceutical world. What are essential oils? 3 ways to use them. And then I go through kind of like the top 10 oils. I'll touch on a couple of my favorite oils that I've been using specifically for my stuff, but ones that are really easy to use within our lifestyle and like in a daily routine. Why quality matters. And then just teach you really simply how to get the oils in your home. Cool. So Eastern versus Western medicine. Has anyone here studied Ayurveda before? Some of you did my teacher training, so okay, awesome. I'm not an Ayurveda expert, but Ayurveda is the sister science to yoga, which pretty much means that we come back to our spiritual nature and harmonize the body, mind, soul, and use natural solutions and Mother Nature's gifts to us as our medicine versus going for a synthetic or chemical compound to heal something that really could be healed by proper diet and natural lifestyle, and then also plant medicine first. So Eastern medicine is made from plants. It treats the root cause and actually has side benefits versus side effects. Western medicine, which is the world that we've lived in, is made from isolated synthetic agents, which has a lot to do with why most pharmaceuticals are addictive and have a very wide range of side effects. You hear like a drug commercial and it's like, side effects may include like instant death and blindness. And you're like, but I was just trying to like cure a stomach ache. I don't know why I need to have that gigantic side effect. And usually with Western medicine, we're trying to cover up and fix a symptom versus with Eastern medicine, we're actually going to the root cause to heal the issue versus just kind of cover up the top of it and put a Band-Aid on. So again, with Western medicine, synthetic, we're pretty much just targeting the symptom versus the root cause and has lots of side effects and addictive qualities. I looked up today in regards to this, that the medical industry and pharmaceutical industry is a $3.6 trillion industry. That was like, of course it is. Like addiction rates are on just skyrocketing, and we're kind of just have to take one medicine to cover up another medicine's side effects, to cover up another medicine's side effects, to cover up another medicine's, versus reconstructing our belief around how we can heal and going back to Mother Nature first and fixing the root cause and kind of balancing out or reharmonizing our body back with nature, which is actually more effective in the long term and it's safer. I'm doing pretty good with the slideshow, don't you think? Some of those of you that know that I'm not good at this. So what are essential oils? Essential oils are comprised of hundreds of chemical constituents that provides the plants with distinctive qualities and healing properties. So pretty much these different plants, so it comes from leaves, flowers, bark, stems, roots, resins, and then the peels from certain citruses. What we're doing is there's two metabolites within a plant, and the essential oils are the volatile aromatic compound that's found in an oil. So if you were to, that's found in the plant. So if you were to open it and just smell it, it's the part or the pretty much the metabolite that immediately like whoop, starts to go into the air. This is something I learned from Diana's class, is that there's a secondary metabolite to the plant. So there's a first metabolite and the second metabolite. I thought this was pretty cool because I've learned about this in regards to nutrition before, but I hadn't learned about it in regards to oils before. So pretty much the plant has to survive, and plants are just sitting there like, but there's predators coming at it, and so it has to do something to protect itself, right? And so I learned this in regards to the way that we can react to certain foods. And some of you might have heard me say this before, like plants can produce lectins in the body, which then can cause a reaction in our gut lining. That's why beans make us fart. It's because beans create a secondary constituent or metabolite to fight off anything coming to eat the bean, because it doesn't have arms and legs and can't punch anything away. So it creates like an enzyme pretty much to protect itself. So the first metabolite is like essential for the plant itself to survive. The second metabolite is this extra thing that's produced in order to make sure that the plant can thrive and make sure that it can reproduce and to make sure that it lives. And so let's use an example here to kind of hit home. You guys maybe have heard me talk about this, but Melaleuca, which is tea tree, I thought this was so cool when I learned. So tea tree grows in like the most hot and humid swamp in Australia, in a breeding ground for mold, fungus, and bacteria. So in order for it to thrive in that kind of harsh, intense environment, the plant itself had to produce some sort of protective mechanism in order for it to thrive inside of it. So that protective mechanism is the immune system for it to, continue to live there for the most part. And that is the secondary metabolite that then we would extract and use, and it has the exact same effect on us. So then its primary constituents are naturally antiseptic, antibacterial, and antifungal. So we're just taking like the part of the plant that worked so hard to protect itself and to create a healthy, thriving environment for itself. And we're using that to create a healthy, thriving environment for us. That makes sense. I thought that was so cool. This is another reason why, and I'll go into why quality matters and why the way doTerra sources the oils is really important, because let's say if we took tea tree and we tried to grow it in Kansas, it wouldn't have a hot, humid environment to produce the immune system that it needs in order for it to actually have all the potency of a healing plant. So we actually have to go to the indigenous places where these things are grown in their most natural environment, because then they're going to have the most vibrancy and the most chemical constituents that then can help heal our bodies. It's like, duh, once you learn it, it's like, wow, Mother Earth is so cool. And then it's fascinating to learn, just skip back up there, it's fascinating to learn how each environment, then you start to really appreciate the different aspects of the world. That's kind of what I'm learning, is like, oh my God, I had no idea that that would breed this, that then would be this like incredibly potent thing for me to ingest. Let's see if I missed anything. Yeah, okay, so the 3 ways to use them. This was really cool for me to learn too, because I honestly thought that just smelling them or using them in the diffuser, and I guess I had rubbed some on my skin, but I definitely didn't know that they were, if used in their most, if it's a high quality oil like doTerra is, using them internally can be extremely potent. So aromatically is the first way, just opening the oil and smelling it, placing it on the hand, smelling it, breathing it into the nose or the mouth, using it in the diffuser. I also didn't realize the potency and the power of using it aromatically as well. So when we breathe in through the nose, it's actually hitting the limbic brain first. So when we breathe in, a lot of the other systems, it has to go through the body before it can hit the brain and actually affect it. Through the nose is a direct line to the brain. And we all know that like emotional well-being and depression and anxiety are also on the skyrocket. And so being able to heal and support our emotional well-being that fast is extremely important at this day and age. So when we breathe in the oil, it goes directly to the limbic brain, which then affects the mood and the emotional centers of the body very quickly. And if you've studied yoga with me or Ayurveda in general, you know that the way that the limbic brain is where we store the memories, kind of like our chitta, so to speak. And our memories, create the way that our memories are running our mind, creates the state of our mind, and the state of our mind creates the state of our mood. The state of our mood creates the experience of our life, really. So being able to affect that part of the body so quickly is really impactful. And as it continues through, and we breathe it through the lungs, there's these little like things at the bottom of our lungs called alveoli, and the volatile oil, the part that is aromatic and can, what's the word, where it goes into the air really quickly, that, disperse or evaporates into the air, yeah, really quickly, goes right into the alveoli and directly into the bloodstream. And so this way, in 20 minutes, I learned from Diana's class also, in 20 minutes, something that goes into the bloodstream that we smell is within every single organ of the body in 20 minutes. So imagine like smelling bleach because we cleaned our bathroom. And now in 20 minutes, that bleach or that chemical is throughout our entire body. Whoa, like especially I don't have children yet, but if I do have kids and I want to get, like, it's so important what goes into little baby bodies, but even our bodies, like imagine that, like as soon as we smell it, 20 minutes through the entire body. I thought that was like incredible. Could you imagine if we started to consider the things that we're just breathing in our home, what to speak of putting it on our skin or putting in our mouth, like those are also important too, but even just smelling has a profound effect, and we do have to digest it through every single organ. Pretty cool. Let's see. I just wrote choose wisely. Yes, choose wisely. Still agree with that. Okay, so the next one is topically, right onto the skin. Like I was saying before, almost all of our oils can go directly onto the skin. What I did learn recently is that using a carrier oil, like fractionated coconut oil, it's not super oily like regular coconut oil. Regular coconut fractionated oil. Regular coconut oil is super like goopy and you're kind of left oily, because I was a big fan of regular coconut oil, but I chose to get the fractionated stuff and I actually really love it because it doesn't leave any of that coconut smell and you're not super greasy afterwards. So it goes into the body kind of quicker. But if you use a carrier oil, I thought it diluted my oil putting on experience, but it actually helps amplify it because it carries the oil in for a longer amount of time. So instead of it just evaporating very quickly because it's volatile, it stays within the carrier oil and actually has a longer effect on the skin and the body. And then also remembering that like the skin is our largest organ. And I think we forget that so often. We just think it's like our outside shell, but really it's an organ and it's taking in everything that we put on it. So think about anything you've ever rubbed on your skin, shampoo that you've used, anything like that. Lotions, all that stuff is really being absorbed into the skin, into the connective tissue, and then into the muscles and into the bloodstream, and really having a profound effect like that. More than just maybe isolating pain or using like tea tree and lavender on acne or frankincense on the face for wrinkles, things like that we can do as well. And then internally, and this has been my favorite way to use them, probably because I didn't know you could. And I think it's actually had a very profound effect on my hormones. So I've been taking clary sage every day, 2 drops in a little veggie cap since February. And I think that has really shifted the entire hormonal balance of my body. So one way we could do it is we can just place it in I always do lemon in my hot water in the morning, 2 drops. Smell it first just because might as well, and then drink it. I just learned recently you could put the lemon in there first, and then when you put the water on, it mixes up better than just dropping it on top. Genius tip. Like, who would have thought that would have worked better? I'm like, wow, really simple things, but next time you'll do it and be like, oh, so much better. Putting it under the tongue is a great way. Some of them are a little hotter than others, / don't taste as good as others. So doing a veggie cap is like the bomb because you don't have to taste it all. You might burp something kind of flavorful 10 to 30 minutes later. But if you have a nice right combo, like I've been taking lemongrass and clove for my thyroid, and so that just, I'm like, oh, I took oils. It doesn't taste bad at all. But it goes, when we take in the veggie cap, it goes right into the gut, right into the bloodstream, and then it is absorbed through all the organs of the body. How else can we take it internally? Yeah, I said under the tongue or on the tongue. Which there's all, if you look underneath your tongue, there's like all kinds of little blood vessels down there, so it goes straight in. And then consistency is key. So one thing that I know for sure I have to do is just keep them out on the counter. So I have like a couple different like batches. Like I have the ones that I use like in my water in the morning. So I have it like over by my tea kettle. And then like I do the ones on my other kitchen counter that are next to a little jar of my veggie caps. So I see them. And every single day I remember like, these are my vitamins. Like this is how I'm healing my body. And then I have the ones in my bathroom, like right next to my toothbrush. So I can put the tea tree on there and I can do my face oil that I did. And then I have like 2 next to my diffuser in my office so that I don't forget to use them. So what's really important, and honestly, this is with any self-care practice, it's the most powerful one is the one you actually do. And the one you do on a consistent basis. Like we don't have to, like this is just smear this over all of life. Like we don't have to change everything, but if we just eat 1 crumb, like just do one tiny thing and do it over a solid amount of time, like you will see a profound difference in whatever it is. Just 1% shift will lead you in a very different trajectory. So with these, it's not about, absorbing like an entire bottle of frankincense in one day. It's like every day I do 2 drops under my tongue. And over a couple months, I'm seeing massive effects in the vitality of my skin, the radiance of my skin and the vitality of my body. So cell regeneration oil. So there's so many things, but doing it every day really allows the body to feel comfortable with the herb we're bringing in and start to harmonize itself with the herb, which is beautiful. And I just forget things so easily. So just having it out for me to see is super important. So my daily oils, I'm going to go through these first. These are in the, and then I kind of mentioned the 2 that I take all the time. It's clary sage, that's a hormonal balance one. And then I take copaiba. Copaiba is kind of like their version of CBD, but there's no THC or anything like that. It's very soothing for all the systems in the body. I just recently actually left my copaiba with my dad. He has foot drop from like a back surgery. Well, he had a back injury a long time ago and had to have surgery. And he had like nerve damage. And so in the front of his shin, on his right leg, he can't lift his foot up anymore. And every once in a while, slash pretty regularly, he has this like intense, like sharp pain on his lower leg, like where the muscle used to be. It's just like the nerve kind of freaking out. And for years, I've seen him with this pain. And this just happened a couple weeks ago. I was down in Florida. And I was like, here, you keep this, even though I was using it for 2 drops in the morning and evening, because it's just helpful for migraines in general. So just taking it every day is super good. And any inflammatory problems. And so I gave it to him. And as soon as he started taking it, he said he hasn't had any of that pain. Like I just checked on him yesterday and he hasn't had any pain in his leg. I was like, what? And he's like not a complainer or anything. So he would just like stop and put his hand on his knee and just wait for it to pass. It'd be like a quick, like sharp, and then it would release again. But not one to really like seek a lot of help or tell anyone anything's wrong. So he was like, nope, I haven't had any pain. Thanks. I'm like, oh, I'm glad we can finally help you because you weren't gonna ask. So good. So yeah, clary sage and copaiba, and then some other ones. I've been working with Avesa, my mentor, and she has just been super available to help me kind of construct a daily regimen, particularly to target things that I'm working on, which is so cool to me that we could use plant medicine to target health issues that we're specifically dealing with. There's practically an herb for everything, which is so cool. I got this book, this textbook. It's like the only textbook I've actually enjoyed reading or referencing. I'm really not an academic, but it is so cool to be like, oh, lavender does this, that, this, that, this, that, and this. And it also smells good. Who knew? It's like well, I'll go into it here, but I didn't even realize that's like good for allergies. It's good for inflammation. It's good for migraines. It's amazing. And I just thought it was like a yoga trick to get people to like your classes. Okay, so these are the kind of some of the top ones. When I first started using these, honestly, I got the cheapest kit. One, because I guess I didn't realize how actively I'd be using them in my lifestyle. I didn't realize that consistency was a thing. And I also didn't know if I was gonna like them. I was like, yeah, I'll try this. And then I fell in love with them and I kind of went through that first kit pretty quick, but it came with a diffuser and I got a good taste of the ones that I loved. And then I knew which other ones I wanted to order. And then I had time to like really experience how great they were. And it kind of got me ready to place an order every month so I could just have them and really use them as part of my self-care practice. So these are some of the ones that I would recommend using through the day so that, and like Celia, I know that I think you might have gotten this one. Let me look at the chat here. Yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to get something from these so you can use them every day. So in the morning when I wake up, I do 2 drops of lemon in my hot water in the morning, which is just a great way to not immediately put coffee in your system. So it helps the body naturally go to the bathroom to clean the GI tract. It's a detoxifying oil. It's also very awakening. It is helpful for respiratory function and promotes a healthy mood, positive mood. I learned that all citrus oils are kind of like, if you just think of citrus in general, it's like, oh, we're all awake and we're all happy here. I really like, personally, wild orange and grapefruit too. I almost always put wild orange in my water now since that girl at that yoga studio did it and I fell in love with it and then realized I could do it too. It's like so good. One thing with that is to always make sure that you're drinking out of a glass or a metal container and not plastic, because we don't want the oils to absorb any of the toxins that might be in the plastic. So lemon in the morning, I always do 2 drops there. Sometimes I even put the digestin, which is down here on the bottom, 1 drop of that in my water in the morning too. It has a really, I really like fennel, and fennel is one of the oils in there. And so I'll breathe it in a couple times. It's a little bit spicy, so it might be not for everyone, but I really enjoy that flavor. So I'll put that in there too, just to help with digestion in the morning. Frankincense, I always put 2 drops underneath my tongue. I did have one migraine that wasn't hormonally induced. I think it was stress induced back in July. It was not good. But I took Advil because I thought I was going to die. I ended up throwing up the Advil and catching myself. And then about 30 minutes later, putting peppermint, lavender, and frankincense in a veggie cap and taking it. took it, fell asleep for 30 minutes and woke up and my migraine was pretty much like 80% gone. And that I was like, all right, this is like some witch magic that's happening, because that doesn't ever happen. But it was very profound to feel that effect. So frankincense is, I always remember hearing like frankincense and myrrh, like they were like two very special, like I think they were like gifted to Jesus as like more precious than gold, because they had such potent healing qualities. And back in the day, people cared about Mother Earth, and we cared, like all we had to offer was what we found from the earth, you know, create this currency and then trade that. We had like Mother Earth was like the most precious thing that we could offer someone. And frankincense just has so many amazing ways to support the body. It's cell regenerating. It supports the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system when it's taken internally. It can be used on the skin as well. I made a little fractionated coconut oil with frankincense, yarrow palm, and a couple other things. You can also put frankincense directly on your skin as well to help regenerate cells. I've heard, I think Lindsay, you said you were doing that, right on like little wrinkles on the side. And I don't have any, actually feels really good. I did learn that when frankincense used with any other oil, it amplifies the other oil. So if you diffuse it with lavender, it creates more potency in lavender. If you take it with lemon, it amplifies the effect of lemon. I thought that was really cool. It's like your wing woman oil, attach it to anything else. Lavender, did I do lavender? I feel like I just talked about lavender a lot. Yeah, so this one is, what I didn't realize is an antihistamine and an anti-inflammatory. So it's extremely good for on the skin, directly on the skin. You can use it with melaleuca or tea tree. I don't have kids, I do have a furry friend, and I've used lavender and tea tree all the time on little hot spots that Ollie gets. Not all essential oils are great for pets. Like there are some of them, like On Guard's like a little bit too spicy, and some certain things that doTerra has a whole pet page and their sense of smell is just so much that it could irritate their nerves, and we don't want to overload them. But almost all other ones are safe for them too. And I think my mentor actually taught a class on essential oils and pets, which is cool. I did put oregano oil in Folly's food when he was having digestive problems, and I just did it in 2 different meals, like in one day, 1 drop in each, and then he was better the next day. And I think it was like antibacterial and antifungal, which I thought was really cool. And he didn't mind. So yeah, lavender is amazing for headaches as well. If you can put it on the back of your neck, I've done. You can diffuse it while you sleep. It has they've actually done studies showing that lavender has an amazing effect on anxiety. You can mix it with some coconut oil and rub your hands and feet before you go to sleep, inducing a calm emotional state before you lay down. Tea tree, my favorite way to use tea tree now, aside from just cleaning stuff, cleaning me, cleaning wounds, cleaning everything, is to put it on my toothbrush. It's like, I don't know why I think it's so great, but I just like put the toothpaste, wet the toothbrush, put a drop of tea tree, and it's like so invigorating, and it cleans your toothbrush at the same time. So yeah, it's known for its cleansing and rejuvenating effect on the skin. You can use it directly on the skin for any acne. Healthy immune function, again, it creates that immunity in the environment that it's in, just like everything, but it has, I think it's probably very well known for that. You can also take it internally, which I didn't know, probably because I didn't know doTerra oils before, but I have taken it. It's an antiviral and antibacterial as well, if you wanted to take it in a veggie cap to help protect your body and build immune system. On Guard is another immunity blend. I love this one. I have the On Guard roller that I pretty much carry with me when I go, and I put it on my neck, I put it on my chest. It has just mixed with fractionated coconut oil. I've also started putting just 1 drop of On Guard on my mask, like in the filter on the mask that I wear. And so I'm breathing that in when I go outside, either that one or I've done peppermint. It is kind of intense, so I'll do it, let it sit for a little bit, and then slide like my little filter in and take it out. You could also do like lavender or an emotional blend to kind of induce a nicer emotional experience when you go outside, de-stress instead of like feeling like you're just like choking on your mask. I really like the On Guard though, because it's kind of a warming. There's cinnamon and different things in there that it feels like a protective, very protective blend as you go out. Yeah, environmental threats, perfect. Respiratory function, perfect. Promotes healthy circulation, perfect. I love all these things. Peppermint, I have been using peppermint. I just keep it alongside my bed, put a couple drops on my hands in the morning, and then breathe in like 10 or 15 times. And it is like the most awakening thing in the world, through my nose, through my mouth, and actually taking a deep breath. Like, it is so like revitalizing, and awakening is really the only way that I can say it. It's so profound. I can like feel the blood vessels in my head like expanding and waking up. It's very good. It's a fever reducer, I learned recently, because I put it, it's also in our past tense blend, which is a headache one, but I rubbed it on Aaron's head when he had a fever the other day and gave it to him in a capsule with lavender and frankincense. And when I had that migraine, it was very helpful. It can repel bugs as well, so you can make a spray for my little herb garden: peppermint, rosemary, a couple different things, citronella, eucalyptus. They're very good for outdoor things, plants. Talked about digestion, that one. Oh, and peppermint is also very good for digestion as well. You can rub right on your belly. It is hot, but it feels great. You can take it internally, which is really good for that too. And then there's peppermint found in the digestion with a couple different other ones that are particularly good for digestion. Can go topically right on the belly, or it can go in a veggie cap or in tea. And then deep blue is great. It's a topical. I actually just finished my deep blue today. It was a very sad moment. I have a little bit of rub left, thank goodness, but it's pretty much like our icy hot, but a natural solution for icy hot. Because if you really think about it, like, what is in icy hot? And if I remember that everything I smell and put on my skin is going to be in every single organ, I don't really want to rub all these other things. I don't know what it is. So you can put it directly on the skin. With this one, I would totally do with a carrier oil just so it lasted longer. And this one you cannot take internally. Don't know what that would do, probably just burn. You want this one to go right on the skin. Another thing with lemon too is I use that one for household cleaning. I got a cedar wood, which just for like the scent of it, and there's cleaning properties to that as well. So you can literally just put white vinegar, lemon, and water in a spray bottle, and now you have an antiseptic for the house, and it smells great. Like, in lemon, I think is only like $10, and you just need like 10 drops in a thing, and you have an amazing house cleaner that's non-toxic. Like, so cool. Same with tea tree, you can do that. Okay. Anyone have any questions? This is the last part. You can unmute yourself if you have a question, or type it in the chatty if I can find the chat. Oh, let me look. Oh, what happens with the bad cut on the skin? Lavender and tea tree. Definitely, Cece. And then with scarring, you could use frankincense. Yeah, I would suggest, there's two kits that I would suggest. One has kind of like the bigger bottles. So if you, for sure, you already have learned how you can use them. I didn't know how the heck I was going to use them, so I really just got like the basic one. And I did go through them pretty quick, but it did give me an idea of which ones I like to use the most. I was like, oh man, I went through lemon like super fast. I diffused all the lavender, but like the deep blue was a little one, and I just finished it because I didn't really use it quite as much as the other one. So I'll show you. There's a couple different ways to order them, but I think starting with a kit is best because it gets a diffuser, and I didn't have one of those either. And then it gives you a pretty solid like package to start using a bunch of different ones. And yeah, so I'll go over that next. So the last thing is why quality matters. And this is this is the whole reason I decided to partner with doTerra, to be honest with you. I really didn't foresee myself. I've always worked for myself. I always will work for myself, thank goodness. And I love that. And I really have been hesitant to partner with, I've had a fair amount of people reach out to me, when you want to work with me or sponsor this, and I don't really believe in their mission, and I don't really believe what they stand for as a company. And so I haven't done that before. And what really has kind of revealed itself to me as I've worked with the doTERRA products and also the people of doTERRA, like my mentor, and learned about the company and all that it gives back and the way that they do things. The integrity and the consideration and the community that they build are really just things that I believe in my life and within my own personal business, and what I believe in with the other women that I work with. So this really kind of changed things for me. So what I learned is that the essential oil industry doesn't have any regulations. So you could pretty much go into like a gas station or a Walmart or something and buy a lavender oil, and it could say like 100% pure. And really you could be buying a bottle of additives, chemicals, and things that are only going to degrade your health and not help harmonize and heal. So doTerra created certified pure therapeutic grade, which means that they just go through a rigorous testing process for every single batch of herbs that they bring in and oil that they create. So if you look at the bottom of any bottle, there's a batch number, and every batch that goes through, if there's anything in it that isn't pure, that's GMO, that's synthetic, that isn't, then they throw the batch away. So you know that when you're getting every single bottle that you get is pure enough to be used internally, topically, and aromatically on children, to pets, to humans, to our lifestyles, and you know that you're not getting anything synthetic, which is, and doTerra is the only brand that does that. So I would just remember that as you move through the world or are offered other oils, because there might also be studies, like I've had people say like, oh, I didn't think you could take them internally. I wouldn't recommend taking any other essential oil internally because you don't actually know what's in it. The next thing is co-impact sourcing. Actually, there was a couple things about that I actually really wanted to make sure that I shared. Yeah, so pretty much this is just ethically sourcing plants. If we think about how many plants have to go into creating one little bottle of oil, it's ridiculous. So to make sure that the farmers aren't being extorted, that Mother Earth isn't being destroyed in the process of harvesting lavender is extremely important, because Mother Earth and people matter a lot to me, and they matter a lot to doTerra. So through co-impact sourcing, this is something that doTerra has and other essential oil companies do not, is they give back to Indigenous places, and they support the Indigenous farmers who we buy the herbs from. So just like, well, I guess I kind of mentioned that with the tea tree, that like we have to go to Australia to get the tea tree in order for the tea tree to be potent. So we couldn't just grow tea tree in Kansas and expect it to do the same. So noting that that is how it has to work, we go directly to the Indigenous places and create long-term relationships with farmers in that area so that they then have job security. We build communities there. We help create like sustainable farming there, and ensure that waste is gotten rid of in a sustainable way. Fair labor conditions for them. Long-term partnerships too. So instead of just being like, okay, we'll buy lavender from you from like 1 year, we're like, no, we'll partner with you so that we can help kind of in poverty in this area, because a lot of these places that these things grow might not be extremely developed. They might not have clean water, might not have schools, things like that that we've given back to. Let's see. Yeah. On-time payments, consistent payments. Oh yes, and this was cool. So we have I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the Healing Hands Foundation. Oh yeah, I have it on here. Okay, the Healing Hands Foundation. I just learned yesterday that doTerra has given $6 million or raised $6 million for the Healing Hands Foundation and human trafficking, which is like massive. That's such a. I've been actually seeing a lot of stuff on social media recently about how. About human trafficking, just like more than usual. I think everything is kind of unearthing itself on social media now, the things that we should care about. But I just thought that was so cool that that's the kind of work that they do in the world, is to give to and to start nonprofits that support really making a difference in areas where we don't really see a lot of people doing that. So they focus, the Healing Hand really is another part of that, is that they focus on community development, which is pretty huge. They go in and create clean water sources, different schools, orphanages. What was the last thing? And like medical hospitals, small hospitals, things like that. So the communities that are supporting us with herbs and plants are supported and built up in a way that's actually sustainable for them moving forward. Okay. So those things, honestly, if you wanted to learn more about them, and I kind of dove into like, okay, why doTerra? Why do I really want to partner with this company? Do I believe in the mission that they stand for? And there's so much information, one, just on their website, but also just on YouTube in regards to the Healing Hands Foundation and also co-impact sourcing, which I think can really kind of give you the footing to believe in a brand as much as I do, which is not something I would have thought that I was going to be doing, but with a company that gives back pretty much as much as they possibly can. I think that's really important, because I think that it just, as like a business owner, I feel like uplifting those around us and within our community is just as important as us doing good work in the world. Like, we're only as good as the people that are around us. So the fact that a company that is this big is caring that much and really honoring their wellness advocates. Like, I'm now a wellness advocate for them, and I learned recently that what their primary focus is, they highlight their wellness advocates that do the most philanthropy work in the world, instead of, you know, like highlighting me with a Mercedes Benz. It's like, we promote and support you if you do good work in the world and when you do good work in the world, which I think is kind of an attribute that sets them apart from a lot of other things. And the last thing is the LRP, which is a loyalty rewards program. And this is cool because pretty much on doTerra, you can buy lots of different household things. You can buy laundry soap, you can buy your vitamins, and you can buy obviously oils, which is primarily what I bought them for. But you can buy toothbrushes, toothpaste. I don't know if they have toothbrushes, actually. I haven't used one because I use a wooden toothbrush, but their toothpaste is very good. It's cinnamony. Every time that if you sign up for their LRP, which is just a monthly order, you get 30% back in product points, which is pretty much the same stuff that you would buy at Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. But when you buy those things that you need on a regular basis, they aren't really offering you a 30% back in points. So it's worth setting that up, in my opinion, just because I'm going to buy those things anyway. And so you're just doing it through the same source every time. Okay, cool. So this is how you get your oils. Okay. So, oh, you guys went away. I have to see you, or I won't even be able to talk. Come, there you are. Okay. Whew. God forbid I'm talking to myself, and then I really am. Even just having to look at this screen and not look at Jess y'all's faces is screwing me up. I'm like, I'm trying to read, trying to talk, trying to read. I don't know how people do it. Whew. Okay, so getting your oils. As simple as possible, you get a membership through doTerra, which is $35, just like a Costco membership or something like that. If you're to pay the $35 fee, you can go in and just select particular oils if you just want to buy like a lavender, or you just want to buy clary sage or something like that. If you're going to use the oils on a regular basis within your lifestyle, buying a kit is the best way to go, because then you get a solid amount of them, you get a diffuser, and the membership fee is waived. So you can either buy the kit or buy the membership and particular oils. So the Healthy Start Kit and the Healthy Essentials are the two good ones to start with. I think I got the Healthy Start. I got the cheaper one. Totally recommend that if you want, because then you get an idea. And then you can start to use use the lemon, use the frankincense, use the lavender and tea tree, and then meet with your wellness advocate or whoever it is that enrolled you and target specific health things that you want to work on. And then for your next order, you can get clary sage, or you can get clove to support the thyroid, or you can get this to that, but you don't have to buy them all at one time. So you start small, and because it's consistency again, it's not, let me take all the oils at once. It's let me integrate these into my lifestyle while I simultaneously pull out toxins from my lifestyle. So I start to move myself off of, toxic house cleaners and shampoos and toothpaste, and start to orient everything back over to Mother Nature. And then it's a process of healing the body from there. Yeah, so you would just choose a starter kit. I think most of you have them, and if not, I can send you a link too, which is super simple. I would just send you a link, and then you can just check out, and then you have control over your account too, which is something I like about, that was it, ta-da! Something I like about this company too is that you have access to your account. So you can go in, you can order things, you can, sorry, I need to order tea tree, okay. You can go in and you have the power to order whatever you want, whenever you want, which is great. Yeah, good, cool. Any questions? Mute you all. Or want to say anything?
Do you ever diffuse tea tree?
You can.
Yeah, I never have. I've usually just done it like topically or internally, but I was curious, like
it will purify the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Cool.
On Guard also purifies the air.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, On Guard and lemon does too. I'm trying to think of what else I've. But yeah, that'll definitely get you if you like the smell of tea tree. I wonder what it would smell like.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done it. I usually just do on Guard or the lemon for those properties. Yeah. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, tea tree.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Danielle, we'll definitely get you some for your thyroid. Did you get any blood work done yet?
No,
No,
not yet.
Are you going to?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I have an appointment on the 11th.
Okay, cool. Gotta get you some. Yeah, I think clove, lemongrass, and one other one are like, I think it might be cinnamon bark or something, are very supportive for the thyroid. But get you some of those regular ones, and then we can target thyroid stuff.
Then I can just add it on, right?
Yeah, just once you get the kit, then you have them and you can start to use those. And then the best way to order more is to do their like LRP thing, because you just get points back. So you pretty much would have like, you'd be able to get something for free, and you can cancel it at any time.
Okay.
But if you are using them on a regular basis, it's pretty cool. You don't have to, there's no like minimum number to order or anything. You can literally just get like one oil the next month or one oil the next month. But if you're using, like I use lemon so fast, so I use it in like everything, and it's only $10. And I use
So does it like,
fast.
do you feel like your audit, like when you're getting them again, it's like right about the time you need them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Especially for the ones that I use on a consistent basis. Like my first few orders, I was like, ooh, I want to try that. I want to try that. And like those, I've only used a little bit to like make a roller for scent, or like make some bug spray. And I don't use them every single day, but I wouldn't order those same ones. But like frankincense, lemon, the wild orange I use all the time in my water, clary sage, those ones, they take about the time where every other month I'd want another one. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for being here for my first slideshow workshop. That was not easy, I have to tell you. Oh my God. More of a ripping it kind of girl with no reading involved. Could you tell that I was doing it?
No, I thought you did it really well.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank God. It's so difficult. I'm not a very good reader anyway, so I can't like read and try to talk about something I care about. It's like so difficult. But I think it is helpful. Was it helpful to look at something? Okay. All right. I'll practice it a couple times. Cool. All right. Tell everyone you know. Send them to me when you're done. It'll be great. Have an experience of them. Let's change the world one diffuser and veggie cap. Oh, and I got my veggie caps on Amazon. I think I just got like 1,000 of them for, I don't know, it's a massive bag. Like I barely made a dent in it. And then I keep the veggie caps literally in like a dish. Like actually it was an old candle like this, but I cleaned it out. It's this and then all my oil sitting on the side of my veggie caps so that I remember to take them like that. It's incredible. Like the frankincense was behind another one and I forgot to take it for like 3 days. I'm like, how's that possible? It's like literally just right behind. Okay, that wasn't 30 minutes, but love you guys.
Love you. Thank you so much, Leila.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Bye.
Goodbye.
Love you.